Shalom, this is Yah is Magnified, and I'm back with another informative video. Today's video is titled Order Granting Bill of Review, Case Vacated. But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They are all facts and all truth. Nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, I would like for you all to hit that like button. And also, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And also hit the notification bell so you all can be notified as I'm dropping these powerful videos. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, guys, so this video will in fact be a testimony, okay? Because if you all have been following me for quite some time, you all know, if you watch my videos from 2 weeks ago, I dropped this video right here, right? Titled, right here, titled The Order of Support to Set Aside and Vacate, okay? So if you haven't watched that video, I will put a link in the description box to this video and every other video that's attached to this case, because as you guys can see, everything is going on right now as we go through the case, all right? So in this video, I explained to you guys that we received the memorandum vacating the case, but we didn't actually receive the order vacating the case. So now we finally received the order vacating the case. So now let's go over the order. Then right after that, I will bring my uncle on to give his testimony as I promised. So without further ado, let's go over the order. Okay, so now, as you all can see on the screen, this is in fact the order that my aunt received from the court, and let's go over it. It states, cause number, I crossed out as I always. Then it states the petitioner, the Office of the Attorney General, versus my aunt, who was the respondent. We're going to call him Mr. Santana, and it was done in the 256th District Court of Dallas County, Texas. Shout out to all the brothers out in Texas who really fighting that fight, okay? Shout out to the brothers that understand what's going on, okay? I'll be beating up on Texas so bad, you guys probably think that I'm from Texas or ever been to Texas. I never stepped foot in Texas, but I've been whipping Texas all over the internet, okay? And it's just that simple. But let's continue on, and let's finish reading. It states, order regarding petition for bill of review. On the 21st day of August 2023, the court held a hearing in this cause. It is found that the court has jurisdiction of the parties and the subject matter of this suit, and that the following orders are in the best interest of the child. Okay, so for those who have been following me, you all probably say, well, hold on, y'all, it's magnified. You always say challenge jurisdiction. And that's true. That's when you on defense, okay? But when you on offense, meaning that you're moving the court, if you move the court, you automatically waive your jurisdictional challenges because you're now doing what? You're now asking the court to grant you something. So once you ask the court to grant you something, you cannot challenge the jurisdiction of the court if you're asking the court to rule in your favor. But by you doing that, by your petition in the court and asking the court to grant you a petition or something in your favor, then you give the court now the right to accept or deny what you're asking. So that's why I state that the only time we move the court is when I know that we have a strong chance of winning. If I believe we do not have a strong chance of winning, I will not move the court. Okay? But let's continue on. Let's continue reading. It states, a record of the proceeding was made by the court reporter. Then it states, it is ordered that the petition for bill of review is granted. Okay, so he petitioned the court with the bill of review. So that bill of review was granted. Then it states, and that the order signed by this court on 11/12/2020 and cause number, which is a totally different cause number, guys, because when you file a bill of review, for those who don't know, it's a totally different cause number that's appointed to the bill of review when you're challenging a different case. Okay, so they don't use the same case number when you're challenging it. But this case was more than just a child support case, okay? This case has to do with a merger and everything else. But let's continue again. Let's read it one more time. It is ordered that the petition for bill of review is granted and that the order signed by this court on 11/12/2020 and cause number blank is hereby vacated and the petitioner actions be reinstated on the docket, okay? So it states that the petitioner actions should be reinstated on the docket because it has more to do outside of child support, okay? Child support is not the only issue in the case. So we got the child support portion vacated. Everything else, they still have to go back and relitigate, such as the divorce and everything else, all right? And the date of this order was 9/29/2023, and it was time stamped at 4:15 p.m. Again, that's the judge's signature. The cause number I crossed out, again, Dallas County, Texas, and that's the Attorney General's name. And that's the seal of the court at the bottom right-hand corner. So you all know this was, in fact, filed into the court case. So again, guys, All glory and honor to the Most High Yah, because without Him, none of this would be possible, okay? Like I stated in all my videos, I'm just the tool being used to magnify His name and to show people that it could be done, okay? So, now that we went over the order, without further ado, let's bring my uncle to give his testimony. Let's get to it. Okay, as promised, I got my uncle on the phone. You ready, Unc?
I'm ready.
All right, the floor is yours.
All right, gentlemen. So I met Yaz Magnified on YouTube. As we all are, we've all had issues with child support and stuff like that. And my case started in 2020. And in 2020, when the pandemic started, everybody was Googling stuff and putting stuff on YouTube and everything. So I decided to go and, just put, how can you beat child support? I searched it on YouTube and started getting a bunch of stuff and, started, looking at the videos and getting some information, and it sounded very interesting. Came across a few individuals that looked interesting myself. I kind of made a wrong choice. I chose to get some paperwork that don't work from other people. It actually messed me up in court. And then I noticed Yaz Magnified on YouTube. And I started looking at his videos and I was like, wow. I was like, well, he knows the struggle. And I'm like, wow, people are really getting, resolution to this matters. And then, I hit Yaz Magnified up. I told him what was going on. He told me what was going to be the gift and everything. And I was like, wow. I was like, okay. I went to someone else and the gift was less and I chose the less, which I kind of regret now. I went back to Yaz Magnified. I said, look, man, I saw one of your videos from a guy that he beat his case, and just his facial expressions, how he was talking, how happy he was from just breaking out of this. That's what led me to hit him up and say, hey, look, I'm ready, man. Let me know what I need from you. And I think the biggest problem. I'll speak candidly about me. I think is when you don't know anybody and they say things. There's a lot of people that promise you things or say, hey, I can help you out, and they don't. And they may never talk to you again, steal your money. So I think that's kind of like the conflict. But once you break that conflict, I think everything's great, because I was telling my wife, I was like, look, there's no more honorable people in the world, and Yaz Magnified is one person that I can say that I've met that's honorable, man. You said exactly what you said it was gonna, what the gift was gonna be, what you were gonna do for me, how long, and it paid off, and I'm out. So it's hard to find people like that nowadays, man. And I talk to a lot of people about child support issues and this propaganda about deadbeat dads, and you don't want to, man. It's all a business, man. At the end of the day, it's all a business. Nobody cares about your kid or their mom or you. They only care about making the money. That's all they care about. So I'm glad I met you, man, and you helped me out with that.
Oh, thanks. I really appreciate that as well.
Yeah. So, I'm done with, I'm done with this 3 year long issue. So I'm very happy. And if anybody, watches this video and other testimonials, man, whatever's stopping you from calling this man, just put it to the side, man. Trust the higher power, trust God, and trust Yaz Magnified, because he's here to help, man. He's here to help.
Right. All right. So, do you want to explain to them like what happened, like before you came to me about the divorce and other things, like before the child support took place?
So just basically my case on what happened in my case.
Right. Like
Okay. Yeah. So my case started with my son's mom put me on on child support, and obviously, I guess she was getting some food stamps or something like that for no reason really. Um, and then my child's mom doesn't live in this in the state, but they put me on, and I found some paperwork saying that has I guess not a hearing, but I was being sued and all this stuff. And then I used an individual's paperwork um, to try to beat it, and it just it didn't work. What happened was they gave me a default judgment because I was never notified. They never told me I had a hearing. They had a hearing on their own, gave me a default judgment up, and I received a letter in my house saying that, oh, I owe, I think it was like I think it was like $5,000 in arrears or something like that. I was like, what? And I didn't even know what was going on. I called them. They was like, yeah, you had a court date. I was like, I didn't know about that. So I was trying to vacate this order, saying, hey, I didn't know about it. They denied me, especially with that paperwork that I had from that other person. Then after that, I tried. No, I actually didn't try. After that, that's when I met you, right? Then
Right.
it started. Then the paperwork. Then the paperwork started working because they were, they were nervous. They were, it took me some time to kind of learn how to talk and what to say and not be nervous and everything. And being nervous is normal, man. So anybody who hears this is ready for a court date now. You're gonna be nervous, and they're gonna talk to you like you're nothing, like you don't know what you're talking about, like they don't know what you there for. They asked me, if okay, so what are we here for? And the judge told me, oh, what are we here for? I'm like, well, you have some documents in front of you. You should know what we're here, right? So
Right.
they say things. They say things to try to just get you off your grind, or to stop thinking of what you're gonna tell them. And they like to trick you. They like to not put stuff on record. So these little things that happened to me, I think if right now with the knowledge I have now, with what I've learned from you and what I learned in the past, if my court date started today, it would end today because I know what to look for, what to tell the court. Obviously, stay on topic, right? That's stay on topic. Yeah, and talk to them like what's going on. It's funny. So then I had that first, I had, let's see, we had one case, and then and also uh, even though the court is doing something they're not supposed to do, or they're not trying to give you any remedy, be courteous and be respectful. Even if the court, or let's say the judge, they talk down to you or everything like that, just stay calm. Me, when they talk to me like I'm worthless, I get a little upset, and I think I demanded a lot, right? So when I demanded something, she got upset. She just denied my motion. She wanted to the first judge wanted to gather some evidence that I told her, hey, you got to prove whatever. And I said, hey, no, I'm not going. I don't want to come another day. I need you to prove it right now. And she was like, oh, well, so I'm going to deny it because I'm giving you the chance to prove, for the other side to prove it, and you're not allowing it. So we're just going to stop it right now. And I think if I would have just been a little more patient, I think this would have been a little faster. But at the end of the day, you helped me appeal it. I went to a judge because that was a magistrate. I'm sorry, that was a magistrate. That wasn't a judge. Then a judge, and he denied it. It was like a horse and pony show there. He just, they couldn't prove anything. Then they denied it, right? And then we had to appeal, which that was kind of, a little adventure. So you draft all the paper. You draft all the paperwork. I went to the court so many times because this is a different floor. It's actually looks better than the regular courts, the appeal courts. I'm thinking, okay, this is serious now. They're not playing any games. I'm gonna get remedy here, and they're just friends, man. They're brothers. They're family. They don't want you to win, man, and They denied my motion, but they did my appeal. They denied the appeal, but they did vacate the two prior orders. from that support magistrate and that appeal from the judge. They did vacate that, which was cool. So the only thing we had pending was the original default order. And you helped me with that. We filed another motion. And once we filed another motion, I went to court with a judge. And my son's mom was there by herself. The lawyers never even showed up. They left her to dry, to hang dry, right? And even the lawyer, even the judge was like, Miss Sir, did you notify the other party's lawyer? And I was like, yep. And I said, right, just so she can't throw any tricks. I said, there's an affidavit of service right there, ma'am. It was filed on this date. You see it? Oh, now you see it, right? Because they never see anything. It's right in front of them, never see it. But I had to tell them where it is. And like you told me, it's better to have a copy right in hand so you can show it to them. Because it was a Zoom. Everything was Zoom, which is good. Everything Zoom. It's more convenient. And then after, and she was like, okay, well, and my son's mom didn't know what to say, and she just, it was landslide there, because she didn't know what was going on, and she was actually asking for an attorney. I'm like, well, the attorney had its chance, so, and then she, again, I kind of was a little overexcited, and she was a little upset with me, the judge, so she actually closed the hearing. While I was asking her a question, she closed the hearing. She said she was going to make a decision. It took almost a month to write a decision. And I found out, once I found out that she granted it, she wanted us to also draft an order. I'm like, isn't that your job? Like, why would I draft an order? You're the judge. So, yeah, you helped me draft that order. We draft the order. Once we draft that order, the lawyers now all of a sudden reappeared, and they filed an order. There's another order there, and we got the remedy. We didn't get it as we described it in our order, but we got it. So that's the most important part. And if you, I don't know if you're going to show the viewers what the order looked like, but even when you read it, it's just like so. It's to confuse you. Like, wait a minute, what are you saying this? But you're saying something, but you're doing something else.
Exactly.
So it's all there. It's all there. So again, it's all there.
Right. Because you got to also tell them that this case also basically stems from the divorce that was.
Oh yes. Oh yes. So So they're me and my son's mom we were never married because she was married to someone else. So when we went to get married, our marriage was void because of that, and they're taking that. They don't know that because she didn't introduce that into evidence. So I had to tell them, hey, look, we were never married. What are you talking about? And the judge was like, oh, we go on presumptions. Oh, so you guys go on what you guys believe. Okay, so let me just rebut that. Here's the paperwork. Here's the laws from that particular state. To rebut the presumption of us being married. So, that's what they're trying to get me. But I got all the evidence there, man. So they can't do it.
Exactly.
You can't do it. Yep.
Yeah. So we went to court, like 4 times in a span of how many years?
A year and a half, right? It's been a year and a half.
Yeah, about a year and a half fighting non-stop.
A year and a half, yeah. And we went to court. I went to court by myself once to vacate it. Then we saw the magistrate, we saw the judge, we went to the appeals, and then we did this last one. This is where we got our remedy. So 4 times, man. 4 times. 4 times.
4 straight times fighting non-stop. We had to go past all the barriers that they put in front of you, trying to block you from getting this remedy, but we just kept going. Every time they try to do something, I say, what? Don't worry about it. Let's do this. Don't worry about it. Let's do this. All right, now we got that out the way. Now we killing with this. So we hit him with the bill of review. After the bill of review, because we had the attorney, remember the attorney admitted everything that we needed him to admit on the record. So when he admitted
Oh
it on the
yes,
record, we turned around and
yes,
then used that same admission that he admitted on the record in the appeals court against them and for the bill of review, which helped our case even more with the and getting remedy and the court granting the bill of review because they could not deny it now once the attorney made a concession on the appeal. You see?
yes. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, so yeah, they admitted it on the record what they did or did not do. That automatically won the case. We were just basically waiting for the judge to say, okay, vacated or dismissed. So yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, it's so funny, man. And it's like I remember you saying that you just got to keep fighting. And it's like yeah, you can't stop. You just got to keep fighting because you got to get your remedy. It has to be there, man. It has to. You have to get to that point, man. And by the way, you didn't know today I called child support because they like to levy your bank accounts, suspend your here in Texas they suspend your license and your registration and all these things. And my registration for my vehicle was suspended for over a year. So I'm running. I've been driving with an expired tag, and I called child support and I was like, hey, look, I got an order. I need you to remove that suspension. So they asked me to email it them, and I said, hey, you guys took money from me too, and I was like, when can I expect my money back? She told me, well, we gotta see, because we gave it to the mother. We gotta see if we can get it from her. I was like, look, man, that has nothing to do with me. You're the one that took the money with a void judgment. You got to give me back my money. If it has to come from your pockets, I don't care. I need my money. She said, okay, sir, we'll see what we got to do. What we're gonna do. I said, yeah, I'm giving you 30 days. That's it. So we'll see what happens.
Right. Yeah, because that what they use. They usually say, well, we already paid the child's mom, so you have to go after her to get it. But the moment you go after her to get it, the judge is going to automatically support and say, well, it was due to child support enforcement payments, but it was the court's mistake. But the court made the order. Now that the court made the order, you cannot go and get the order you can't get the payment back from the court because the court is not the one receiving the payments. The agency is receiving the payments, and the agency already gave it to the child's mom who already spent the money. So
Yep.
it's like between the catch-22. So the agency have to give you the money back directly from the agency itself. You see, and whatever paid out to the child's mom, then the agency can try to recoup that from her since they don't want paid it out to her. But it's not on you to recoup it from her. It's on you to recoup from the agency who garnished from you.
Yep. They're easy to take your money, but when they got to pay you, yeah, I kind of figured this would come. And so we'll see. We'll see if in 30 days they give me I have my remedy, all my money back. We'll see. It wasn't much, but it wasn't much, but
And also tell them about on the 28th when you was waiting to get on the Zoom so you can have the it was a hearing.
Oh yeah.
28th.
Yeah. So there was on the docket sheet. There was it said it was like a hearing for the final order, and I was like, okay, you know what, I wasn't. Well, they notified me by email, I believe, and I was like, all right, well, yeah, we're ready. I'm gonna be ready, and I go and I look, and I'm like, well, what's going on? Nobody's here, and I'm waiting, and nothing's going on. Nobody. I'm in Zoom waiting. Nobody's calling me, so I go on the website and I go to that court where they have the Zoom meetings like updated, and I looked and there's no Zoom meetings that day. I was like, so I called the court, had to call the court coordinator, and she was like, oh no, you don't have to come in. This is just for this is the day that the order had to be turned in. I was like, it says it's a hearing.
Right.
I was like, okay. I was like, man, I bet you if I wouldn't have showed up, they probably would have had the hearing there. They probably would have had a hearing.
Yeah. They would have had it. They would have had it, but they say that you were still in the waiting for them to have the hearing. They simply, just didn't come on and said this time we're not going to have the hearing because they put on there also dismissed for warrant of prosecution for the hearing date on the 28th as well. So it's just crazy. It's crazy how they was maneuvering in your case. But like I said, we decided to stand firm. We stayed firm. You listened to everything that I was telling you to do. You did not waver. You just stood with me. You played close attention to what I was stating, and you went in there and executed it. So I like to thank you, brother, for just staying diligent with me on the fight and executing the way you're supposed to execute.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Thank you, man. That last video, the last testimony, that hit home, man, because you did that for that guy, no charge, and that guy was happy, and everything came out, and then he asked you why you did it, and your response was very passionate. I was like, and I showed my wife. I'm like, look, you see, this guy's real. He's really here to help. And what's funny, well, I was gonna tell you when I first met you, and we did everything. I started telling people about this. I'm like, look, and nobody believed. To be honest, not even my wife. She didn't believe me. She's like, oh no, that's probably a scam. All this stuff. Why you don't talk to a lawyer? Everybody was against me. I was like, I knew in my heart already that what I did was right, and that I was going to get a favorable outcome. So now I'm putting it in everybody's face now. I said, look at this. My wife, after a little bit after that, she started believing me, right? Because she started seeing all the stuff. But everybody else, I'm jumping in their face. There's a guy, a friend of mine right now. He's on child support. He got 4 kids, and I was like, "You want the remedy? We'll talk to this guy. Talk to this guy." Yeah, so I'm like, "You didn't believe me? Look, I'm good now."
Yep. No, you just tell me, man, how nobody believed that you was gonna go in there and win. I said, stand firm up. You'll make a believer once they see it for themselves. When they see it for themselves, they'll become a believer. Like it's not on you to explain what you're doing or even to, justify what you're doing to anyone else because you're the only one going through this problem. No one else is going through it with you. I mean, besides your wife, but anybody else outside of her, because, by y'all being married, you both of y'all are like one flesh now. So she was actually going through it with you as well. So she was still, had good intentions to tell you, to get an attorney because that what we all know would led to believe that they can assist us. But in the end, they'll never assist you the proper way. They'll only just grant what the court is requesting because they're officers of the court themselves. So they can't buck the same system that they're governed under.
Well, yeah, it's the judge is a lawyer, the prosecutor is a lawyer, and the one that's helping you is a lawyer. No, you got no friends there. Nope.
Exactly. They're all friends. Right.
Nope. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, man. I'm just glad, man. I'm on the side of the victors, the ones that you've all helped. Now I know how they all feel. Now I like to have that feeling. I like how they feel, man. I'm on that side, man. So there's this is never gonna end, to be honest. So I just kind of like the other guy said on your last testimony. I feel like posting up on the family court, just like, hey, you need some help, man. I got you, man. You just send me some cards, man.
Well, I will do that. I will.
Man. Man. Yeah, man. I since I met you and I've been dealing with this, I've met a lot of people that have the same issue. And most people, no, I'm not gonna get on child support. And then they call me later a few months. Oh, I'm on child support. So I told you to hit up my man. So
Yep. You already know it. You can see the signs before it happened, like what's about to happen in individuals' cases, But like I stated before, they don't want to listen. So because they don't want to listen, then they'll find out the hard way. And by that time, hey, it may be too late. You see?
Yep. So, once they got you, like a friend of mine, I tell them once they got you, it's a problem. It's better for you to stop it before it starts. You said.
Correct. Stop it before it starts.
That's
the moment
what
start coming at you, that's when you start applying pressure. You don't let them sit or wait. You got to have your ducks in a row. It's not just by responding. You have to correctly respond. Just because you filed a response doesn't mean that you filed the correct response. So the judge can take your response, read over your response, and simply say that doesn't apply to child support in no formal manner. You see? Because when you're dealing with certain things pertaining to child support, what people want to go in there and argue, most people base their arguments off emotions and no real logic behind it, or misrepresentation of what they believe and try to place their belief on the court system to make the court believe that they found something that can help them with their case. But all
Yeah.
actuality, the court going to look at it and say, this doesn't even apply to child support. So you're bringing this in the court building for what? So because you bought that in the court building, it's going to make them more mad. Then they're going to just do what? They're going to rule against you, and then they're going to increase the payments or try to say, we're going to go back to when the child was almost born, if not when the child was born, and place all those arrears on you now because they're simply mad at what you filed into the court prior to even having them come into the court. You see?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Also, they, I see a lot of people on YouTube saying, trying to help and all this stuff, and they're all wrong, man. And one thing that people got to understand, that Constitution stuff, they don't care about that. It's not about that. It's not. It's not. So all this stuff about the Constitution, it's not. They're not. They don't care about that, man. It's about other. There's other things that pertain to child support that you have to realize, and you have to. That's what you got to attack.
right,
So
right,
yeah,
right. It's the
everybody
legal,
want to. Yeah,
right. They need to understand it's a legal duty that's placed on the man as an obligation. So
yeah,
if you don't attack that legal duty that's being placed upon them, they will place that obligation upon you. And a lot of people get trapped by applying for custody. So once you apply for custody, that you're basically petitioning the court to grant you custody. Once you petition the court to grant you custody, and the judge decide that, well, we're not going to appoint you custody, we're only going to give you 25% of the time and get a mom 75% of the time, you cannot now be mad at that judge. Why? Because you went to him asking for custody. If you don't want him in your business, then simply don't ask. No parent has more custody over the child unless one goes down and applies for it. If no one goes down and applies for custody, then the child is equally both parents. You see, but people don't know that. They want to go down there and say, okay, well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to go down there and get custody and make my child's mom mad, or the child's mom black. I'm going to go down there and get custody to make my child's father mad. But just because you will petition the court for something, don't mean that the court going to actually rule with you. And if the court doesn't
yeah,
rule with you, now you lost your jurisdictional challenges, and now you got to go back in there and do what? Try to maneuver and find a way around that order that you asked the court to grant from the beginning. And if you don't have a way around that initial order that created custody, then when the child's mom come back for child support, they're going to automatically grant her child support because you what? Because you the one went down and applied for custody, waiving your jurisdictional challenges because you the one that bought the child or bought the case before the court prior to the child's mom. And it's
yeah,
just that simple. So if
yep,
you don't want them in your business, don't go down there and apply for services. Don't go down there, petition the court, and ask them anything. Take care of your business on your own.
yep. And don't go to federal court to fight these cases. They don't work.
Oh, down we are we are established that out. They'll work it all. And, and, and the funny part about it is, right? I have haters in Texas, right, who hate on my channel because they want to be me so bad, and them guys still on child support over there. So they in Texas, they can't show a dismissal in their case, but they claim to help people in their case. With their case, but there's nobody can help somebody with your case or with their case if you're not free yourself. So,
Yeah,
and this is more of a smack to their face out in Texas because you in Texas, we run in the lower courts and the appeal courts in Texas, and these guys still can't get out of family court. So it's just crazy. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
embarrassing. And it's getting bad for these cats on YouTube. Every time I'm dropping these testimonies back to back to back like this, these testimonies are coming back to back to back to back. It's like I'm saying, like I'm dropping a testimony every other week or every week. If we go back just this month alone, look at majority of my videos. They're explaining, what happened in cases prior and the results that's being shown from these cases. So they're getting live updates every time as we speak. Even in your situation, this is the fourth video about your situation. So if this is the fourth video about your situation, they can go back to the very first video before you received this remedy and watch till now of witnessing you received the remedy. No other channel on the internet is doing this and proving this. You see?
yeah. That's why you're getting shadow banned.
Yeah,
That's why they don't
yeah,
want the truth to come out.
yeah. They don't want the truth to come out. You got people who haven't won a thing getting 13,000, 20,000, 50,000 views on their channels, but can't show proof of nothing. How is that possible when you got somebody like me who's been showing proof for 7 years straight and they blocking me below 1,000 views on most of my videos? It just don't
Yeah,
add up, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I still strive. Like I tell y'all, this gonna be a fight. So I'll fight. I'll fight in anything I do. Even against the algorithm is a fight. You see, but
Yeah,
I didn't say, well, they shadow banning me, so I'm gonna quit making YouTube videos. No, I just keep making videos, and those that's meant to see it gonna find it no matter what, because you can't stop the truth. You know, the truth gonna spread one way or the other. We just have to stand firm in the truth, and the truth shall do what? Set you free, and that's
set
always
you
gonna be
free.
that
Yep.
way.
Yes,
It's never
sir.
going to change, y'all. If there's nothing, the Bible tells us there's nothing new under the sun. That's why I tell everyone, all glory and honor to the Most High. Without Him, none of this is possible. Like I tell y'all, this wisdom and knowledge was given to me directly from Him. He's the one that led me this way, guided me this way. If it wasn't for the Most High, I wouldn't be here. You see?
Yeah, we were
So
nobody.
yeah,
Nobody would.
right. No, nobody would be here. So we all give glory and honor to him. It's only right. And once we do these things and we understand where our real help come from, then and only then when things start to change in your life.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Agree. I agree.
All right,
Yep.
but I ain't gonna hold you much longer. Do you have anything else you would like to say before I let you go?
No, man. Whoever is kind of iffy and still don't want to bite that bullet, man. Trust me. Watch the other testimonies. Look at the people's faces. Listen to what they say, and call this man. Get your resolution ASAP.
Oh yeah. Speaking of people faces, can you explain to them why you didn't show your face even though you wanted to?
Well, the reason why I didn't want to show my face is because I have some private affairs that I'm trying to get this job. It's very how can I say? It's just they check a
High
lot of stuff,
profile.
and
Yeah.
I don't want them to use anything against me, like, oh, you're on YouTube or whatever, to not get the job. I don't want no excuses. So that's the reason I did it. But hey, after I get the job, then I'll probably come back and just show my face. I don't care. It's just right now I don't want to take a risk. That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's all.
Yeah,
Besides
that's
that,
it.
you'd have been on doing the same thing. So I just wanted them to hear from you. Instead of me explaining, I'd rather let you explain it. Because you can explain it better than me. But yeah, basically your job is, what you're trying to get is very high. It's like like take clearances and stuff like that to get, and you don't want to mess that up. So I
Yes, sir.
understand that with all sincerity. So
Yeah,
you all heard it from him. If you all need my help, hit me up in my email at y'allismagnified@gmail.com. Let's get this right wisdom, this right knowledge, and this right understanding. With that being said, I say shalom, my Ak.
shalom.
I really appreciate it. I can be blessed out there, okay?
You as well.
All right, peace.